Do you really want to improve your chess with the classical games? Hello and welcome. In this chapter, we will be seeing the Bobby Fischer games and the classical games, which is important, and also we know some positional play and strategic. Without any further, let's start it. The first game of the Bobby Fischers played with e4. As you know, the e4 is the best opening for Bobby Fischer, and also the Bobby Fischer said best by test. It means e4 is the best opening in Bobby Fischer ideas. Why the best? Because he also controlling the center, opening the diagonals of the queen and also the bishop, as you can see. The first game is the opponent play c5. As you know, c5 is also the Sicilian, which is Bobby Fischer. Also, most of the games play the e4 and also c4. Also, the Bobby Fischer like the Sicilian variation, more the knight draw variation. After that, knight f3, the normal moves, controlling the center, and also want to play d4. After e6, which is maybe can play some other variation like the Cancelian, but here Bobby Fischer played d3. And most of the games, actually we can see we play d4, which is after take we can develop our knights controlling the center, and after that we can queenside castling and starting attack. But also black want to start attack on our queen side. But here, as you can see, Bobby Fischer played d3. Maybe you think this is not good move. Why? Because our bishop is bad bishop. But that's not true. Why? Because the Bobby Fischer idea is to play g3 and also bishop g2, which is great. After knight c6, g3, and absolutely Bobby Fischer want to castling and fianchetto the bishop. Knight f6, bishop g2. Now we can see the bishop want to be a great piece. Why? Because we want to play also e5, developing the bishop, black, and after that castling with castling. Here's started the game with developing the knight bd2, and maybe this is not good move, but this is the positional play, which is after that we can starting like this, or also maybe we can play some moves like this and starting attack like the King's Indian attack. See, here's the best move. Maybe can play something like d6, but here rook b8 is also good. Maybe nowadays the engine said this is not good move. Why? Because we can play something starting attack on the queen side. But after rook e1, the most popular moves, d6, here's also you can see that black don't want to open the center. c3, maybe we can see here c3 is also want to controlling the b4, because the knight here cannot come to in b4. Maybe we want to play something like queen to c2 also and I start attacking. After b6, which is want to fianchetto the other bishop, we play d4 because our castling is complete and our developing is also complete, and we want to open the center. Queen c7. Here's as the Bobby Fischer 16 memorable games said this move is bad. Why? Because we can play e5 and try to open the center. If our opponent want to play center, that's great, because we have lots of pressure on the e4 square. And also the other points is we can play we can open the diagonal for our bishop, which is more important than the other moves. After knight d5, take, and also must be take. If the queen want to take, no problem for us, because we can also play our knight e4. But also after bishop takes d6, we play knight e4. c4 want to closing the center, because if black don't want to play something like c4, here we can take the c5. Here we can take, as you know, the pair of the bishops are more important and also strong. Queen takes. Here also is bishop knight g5, great move. Why? Because again we open this diagonal of our bishop, and also maybe after some moves we can develop our rooks, our queens, and starting attacking. Maybe the bishop is also great. See, continue the game. Knight c e7, and here is the most important move, queen c2, an attacking start. We want to attack on h7. The game played knight g6. This is good move in this position, but let's see the other moves. If our opponent want to play something like h6, that's absolutely bad, checkmate. If want to play something like g6, again this is bad. Why? Because we can play h4, h5 and destroying the king. The other moves, knight g6, no problem for us. We start our goal, which is h4, and after that h5. Here our opponent play knight f6, controlling the h5, but here we can play good moves like sacrificing our knight. Wonderful sacrifice. Why? Because after absolutely king cannot take, but if knight take, now we can play easily e5, h5. Why? Because the knight is not controlling h5. So h5, and now knight h4. Maybe we can take, but that's not good move. Why? Because he can play something like bishop b7 and changing the bishops, and after that our queen is really bad position and also not safety. Because of that, we just play bishop f4. First of all, attack on the king, on the queen, and we want to square the rook. After queen go to d8, we can take first the knight, and after that we can take the rook. But the rook is coming b7, and this is maybe good move, because after some other moves like f5, this rook is great, can controlling some important squares and can save the pieces like the pawn and also the knight. After h6, unfortunately the game is nearly the end. Take the pawn, and after that we can take. Here's also queen is good position, but maybe here is not. Why? Because the king safety is really bad. we play wonderful moves, great moves. Rook e4, we want to discover attack on the queen and also check, which is so bad. And after queen h5, here we play rook e3, and now we want to play something like rook h3 and want to pressure on the h7 squares. Yes, good move, but we don't want to lose the temp, and we play h3. After rook h3, queen e8, check with the bishop. And now here we have different moves, but absolutely the Bobby Fischer game is the best. Queen d2, and after queen d2 you want to play something like check and maybe mate, or check. After the king go to f7, again we can check and mate, which is not important, and also easily you can know and you can work in the board. But here after king f7, queen g5, and want to take the knight, and after that checkmate, no need to say. Queen e7, and want to control the f6 and also the knight on f6. Bishop takes, queen takes, and this is other best moves. Check, rook h7, and after that we can take the queen. Here's if our opponent want to take our queen, this is not good moves. Why? Because we can take, and after if we want to take, we take, and after that we have a few important pawns and also the rook pairs, which is completely good. But after this move also the opponent resign, because here's not good moves. You must be sacrificing the rook, and after that rook and bishop cannot win against the rook and queen. This is the first game of the Bobby Fischer. In this chapter or in this series of playlists, we will see the 60 important and memorable games of the Bobby Fischer, which has also published some books. And but the difference is we don't want to just focusing on the analyze of that book. We want to analyze our book. And what's our book? The most important engines, the best engines of nowadays. So if this video is useful to you, you can like, subscribe, and share to your friends to useful and use this course. Thanks a lot. All the best.